Well, hello there, Moonlights. It's either a good morning, good afternoon, or a good night to you. I'm pretty sure you all saw the title and can understand the situation a bit, question mark. But because I don't see many others besides Haylo Hayley talk about it, I'll spread the word a bit more here. I'm getting some of this information from Haylo Hayley herself, and she'll be my source, plus adding my personal opinions and all that, for most of this video, so credits to her. If you are somehow unsure of what Gen Alpha is, then I'll explain it to you. Gen Alpha is a generation that lasted from 2013 to 2024, with young children of it still being raised today. That generation is considered the first to be fully raised on newer technology like iPads. They're called iPad kids a lot due to their concerning addictions to their screens and a lack of real social skills.
All last night, my daughter was like, can I borrow your cup? Can I borrow your cup? This is the cup. She was like, she calls it a Stanley. She was like, can I take your Stanley to school tomorrow? And I was like, yeah, that's fine. Like, you can take it. She was like, all my friends use Stanley cups. Like, they all have cups like that. Like, I want to take it. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. Like, take it. So she goes and she's like, oh, I got a Stanley like you guys. And these little girls are like, that doesn't look like a Stanley. And she's like, yeah, it's a Stanley. Like, it looks like y'all's cup. And they're like, no, that's not a real Stanley. That's a fake Stanley. That's a knockoff. First of all, how do fourth graders know what the hell a knockoff is? And they're like, that's a knockoff. So one little girl comes up to her and she's like, show me the bottom of your Stanley. And I guess Stanleys have logos at the bottom or something. So my daughter's like showing her the cup and she's like, yeah, that's not real. Your mom can't afford to buy you a real one. So this weekend, guess who's gonna go get a little Stanley cup?
Okay, that kid deserves better friends. Like, why? Why does the brand even matter? When I was a lot younger, nobody gave a crap about what you drink out of. If it's a water bottle, it's a water bottle. Listen, I understand Stanley Cups are popular because they are stylish and can fit in a cup holder. I actually have one of Gwen Stacy, it's just in a different format. I just don't approve of the ones with the handle to the side and clear straws because of how much they spill. But the cups are the least of my concern. The concern should go to those fake friends, because they basically humiliated their other friend for, in quotes, having a fake Stanley. Now, I'm not trying to be mean when I say this, but Gen Alpha kids are so spoiled it hurts. I even get anxiety just talking to my little cousins. Speaking of them, I found out that some of them range in ages 1 through 5, have mini Stanley Cups themselves. I don't know why it concerns me, it just does.
My iPad kid niece decided to sit at a separate table for two so that she'd have the space for her iPad.
I have to be honest, that's just horrible. Maybe parents should add more restrictions when it comes to technology and when it comes to stuff like this. In different words from Hayley, this kid is isolating herself. If it becomes a habit to always sit at a separate table and always bring the iPad, there's gonna be issues. Why is it apparently more fun to sit away from family and isolate yourself with crap instead of actually engaging and having a conversation with family? Adults can't relate because they didn't have that kind of issue. I don't even have that issue. I'm a Gen Z who was exposed to technology so young but would never use it for bad doings. I would just watch some of my favorite comfort shows most of the time. I agree with Hayley. This enables kids to immerse themselves into an iPad at all times. Heck, what social skills are they going to learn from doing this? A screen is not reality. Reality is the real world. And even though there's sunshine and rainbows, the darkness of history and whatever event will shadow over it. Examples: the Holocaust, 9/11, World War II, the plague, etc. But still, history and reality is a need in your brain in order to learn and grow. There's the saying, those who don't know their history are doomed to repeat it. Are we even being serious here? This kid has no reaction to what's happening on that TV. That must mean that the kid must be a little bit too invested and, yes, brain rotten in something that isn't actually funny. What's hilarious about a dancing Mr. Beast sped up? Like, what is it? What's funny about that? Like Haley says, that babysitter could leave the house and the kid wouldn't even notice or even care, for crying out loud. Kids of Gen Alpha and Beta should be raised on old cartoons that past generations grew up with. It should really regulate their emotions, according to Haley. To be honest, again, I wish Alpha and Beta would grow up with shows like Little Einsteins and not stuff like Cocomelon. The Little Einsteins is what got me into art, dancing, acting, literature, and music. Anyway, not to mention more brain rot. I'll make this one quick. Content farms are ruining fandoms like The Amazing Digital Circus and Sprunky. I actually left The Amazing Digital Circus, and I don't care to get into Sprunky. These types of channels take popular characters that kids love and grab their attention by putting the characters in the weirdest of situations. If you know the Spider-Man and Elsa situation, then you might understand me. It's just wrong on so many different levels. Ruining child brains, ruining a popular fandom, and upsetting people with real common sense. No offense, I'm just trying to make my point clear. If any of you Moonlights haven't seen weird stuff about brain rot currently, then you're blessed. Parents, please monitor your child's online activities. Who knows what's gone into them at this point?
Their childhood is making me sad because, well, it's barely childhood for them anymore. There is no awkward stage during their childhood for them to grow out of. And it is sad. There's no chance or no opportunity for them to just be silly kids for a few short years.
Okay, that's just borderline sad. Now, before you say, wait, aren't 12s Gen Z? They are, but there's such a thing called influence. Gen Z kids will hear about these new trends and will follow along with it just because they want to look cool. But trust me, it's not going to do anything except show how rotten brains can get. Pun intended. Anyway, these mainly toddlers are dressing up like they're going to a business meeting and using full-fledged skincare and makeup. Like, what the heck? Where's the awkward kid phase? Why can't kids just be silly goofballs anymore? When I was 12, I was also a dorcas like Haley. Keep in mind that I'm also autistic and also have ADHD, so I just like to make people laugh by doing funny, not harmful things. The clothing. When I was a toddler, I always dressed in skirts and cute little shirts. And guess what? All I wear now is t-shirts and hoodies because it makes me comfortable. My appearance. Makeup is really uncomfortable to wear in my opinion, so I never wore makeup except for Halloween like one time. I also didn't use skincare products until I actually started breaking out. The awkward kid inside? Well, trust me, I'm still a dorcas. More about skincare. I feel like these kids are damaging their skin in a way by using products that they absolutely don't need so young. If your child starts to break out in acne, that's a good time to talk about skincare. I had to see a few different dermatologists for my skin, for crying out loud. I get that Z and Alpha kids like beauty, but there's also such a thing called natural beauty. These kids are already beautiful the way they are. They don't need full-fledged makeup and skincare right now. There's a reason Sephora technically is banning anyone 10 and under to walk in alone. Heck, They discontinued their test products because of Gen Alpha. Not to mention that apparently, Alpha rooms are empty to the max. No posters or fun in it whatsoever. But here's the thing. My room currently has stuff like Inquisitor Master merch, Disney plushies, pillow pets, Squishmallows, Spider-Man, Billie Eilish, Demon Slayer, My Little Pony, Five Nights at Freddy's, Troll Hunters, Friday Night Funkin', and all that. Why are alphas trying to grow up so fast? I don't even know. It's just sad to think about it. Live your childhood as long as you can, because you can't go back after that. Now that's off my chest, finally. I'm glad you decided to stay and listen, and now that you know more, what are your thoughts? Tell me what you think in the comments if you wish. Hopefully, just hopefully, there's at least some light in the future for these newer generations. Just cross your fingers, everyone. So, after all that, I've decided that you should have a good day, afternoon, and or night. Not and or, just good day, good afternoon, or good night. I will see you all in the next video. Bye bye! Well, now I would like to congratulate the viewer who made it to the very end of this video. Or if you just skipped ahead, well, I don't control what you do, so yeah. If you're wanting a quick summary, since again that's a lot to talk about, usually that's how it is with my written scripts and my voice work, I asked ChatGPT to summarize my script for me, and this is what it told me. Kinsley greets her moonlights and introduces the topic, concerns about Generation Alpha. She gives credit to Haylo Hayley for inspiring the video and serving as a source. Gen Alpha includes kids born from 2013 to 2024, raised entirely on modern tech like iPads. They're often labeled iPad kids due to screen addiction and a lack of social skills. Kinsley reacts to a video where a toddler is judged for not having a, in quotes, real Stanley Cup. She critiques the materialism and fake friendships among young kids today, and shares how even her own little cousins have mini Stanleys. Kinsley discusses how constant screen time, like isolating with an iPad at family gatherings, harms kids' social development. She argues for more tech boundaries and emphasizes learning from reality and history over screen content. She calls out overstimulation from sped-up content, like sped-up Mr. Beast videos, and brain-rotting content farms that misuse popular characters. Kinsley says kids need quality media like Little Einsteins, not Cocomelon or bizarre fandom warping videos. Kinsley criticizes how young kids are dressing like adults, using skincare and makeup too early, and skipping the fun, awkward parts of childhood. She emphasizes embracing your dorky, silly side and says it's okay to grow up slowly, there's no rush. She shares personal anecdotes about being an autistic Gen Z girl who loves colorful merch and comfy clothes. Kinsley wraps up with a heartfelt message, encouraging viewers to comment their thoughts and stay hopeful for the future of younger generations. And that's it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments if you'd like. Also, be sure to subscribe. It will really help the channel a lot. You don't have to, I'm not forcing you to, but you get the gist. Well, have a good day, afternoon, or night. Sweet dreams, angels. Not in the weird sense.